May the peace and love of Christ illuminate your path, brothers and sisters in faith. It is an immense joy to see that you have returned to this space where we seek comfort, wisdom, and spiritual direction together. May these words resonate in the depths of your being and inspire you to remain close to our community to receive divine guidance. Today, as we meditate on these truths, let me remind you that we are living in an era defined by unprecedented challenges. The world is enveloped in chaos, sin, and suffering, as if shadows threaten to consume even the last rays of light. In the midst of this darkness, the Virgin Mary, our Heavenly Mother, offers us not only urgent warnings, but also unwavering hope. Its message is clear. We are at a decisive moment, and every step we take will determine our eternal destiny. The words of the Blessed Virgin are a call to spiritual awakening. She invites us to look inward, to examine our lives with honesty and genuine repentance. It reminds us that although God has poured out His infinite mercy on us through the sacrifice of His Son, Jesus Christ, many souls still remain indifferent to this truth. Moral decay, corruption, and injustice have taken deep roots in the hearts of humanity, and if we do not change course, we will face devastating consequences. Yet even in the midst of this storm, Mary extends her motherly hands to us. His love knows no limits, and His protection is available to all those who humbly cry out for it. But He tenderly warns us, time is running out. The window for repentance and spiritual renewal is closing, and we must act urgently before it is too late. One of the most alarming revelations shared by Our Lady is the imminent arrival of catastrophic events that will shake the world to its foundations. It speaks of the rise of the Antichrist, of apocalyptic natural disasters, wars, plagues, and other evils that will afflict humanity as a result of our separation from God. Rome, once a beacon of faith and devotion, now faces the possibility of becoming an instrument of evil, reflecting widespread decay both within religious institutions and secular society. Despite these distressing visions, the Virgin Mary assures us that her maternal love will never abandon us. She is our refuge, our defender, and our hope. Through fervent prayer, sincere repentance, and the conversion of our hearts, we can mitigate the ravages of evil that threatens to consume us. Our prayers have the power to transform hearts, heal divisions, and delay the coming divine wrath. But this requires immediate action. Satan is active, sowing discord, fear, and disbelief among us. We must be vigilant, protecting our souls and those of our loved ones against the forces of evil that seek to infiltrate our lives. Among the most striking warnings is the reference to the time of the 3 days of darkness prophesied by Padre Pio. During this period, he claims, the earth will be plunged into absolute darkness and evil spirits will roam freely. Only those who have strengthened their faith through prayer, penance, and charity will find refuge and protection. This call must resonate in our hearts as a serious warning. Spiritual preparation cannot wait. We must start today. The example of Padre Pio, whose life was marked by immense suffering and unwavering faith, serves as a model for us to face these difficult times. His stigmata and prophetic visions were not mere external signs, but expressions of his intimate union with the suffering of Christ. Through his total dedication to God, he teaches us that prayer is the foundation of our spiritual strength. Just as he persevered in the face of overwhelming trials, we too can trust that through constant prayer, we will find the grace necessary to endure any adversity. Dear brothers and sisters, the time for complacency is over. The Virgin Mary calls us to rise, strengthen our faith, and prepare for the challenges that lie ahead. This is a time for unity, compassion, and, above all, prayer. Let us remember that the spiritual battle has already begun, and our most powerful weapons are faith, hope, and charity. Trust that even though the darkness may seem overwhelming, the light of Christ will always prevail. Let us remain steadfast in prayer and allow Mary's maternal intercession to guide us toward eternal salvation. Go forward with courage and trust in the Lord. The message of the Virgin Mary calls us to comprehensive preparation, both spiritual and physical, for the challenges that lie ahead. These trials will test our strength in ways we cannot yet fully understand. However, those who have nourished their souls with prayer, penance, and works of charity will emerge firm in the face of adversity. It is not enough to prepare individually. Unity is essential. The Virgin Mary emphasizes the need for solidarity. We must sustain each other through shared prayer, sincere charity, and a common faith. In these difficult times, our strength lies in unity. The time to act is now. The forces of evil are on the move, dragging the world into an unprecedented era of testing and purification. The Virgin Mary's call to prayer, repentance, and spiritual preparation is not an option, but a divine obligation. We must strengthen ourselves spiritually and physically, unite as communities of faith, and raise our prayers for the salvation of all. By the grace of God and the intercession of the Virgin Mary, we will find refuge, peace, and hope even in the darkest moments. This is an urgent call to action. Our response will determine our salvation and that of our families and communities. In the midst of turbulence and uncertainty, our greatest strength will be mutual love and faith. When the storms of life hit us, it will be through unity and compassion that we will build a spiritual fortress capable of protecting us from the forces of darkness. Our foundation, deeply rooted in God's grace, will remain unshakable in the face of the challenges ahead. The Virgin Mary's message is full of hope, not despair. She reminds us that even in our darkest moments, we are never alone. For those who sincerely seek God's love and protection, His grace is always available. Confession, constant prayer, and a renewed commitment to divine will are key to finding peace in the midst of the most intense storms. These holy acts will calm our souls, strengthen our spirit, and give us the inner strength necessary to persevere. In the face of a growing spiritual crisis, the Virgin Mary offers us a path to redemption. His call is clear. Recognize the signs of the times and act now to restore our relationship with God. It is not just about avoiding calamities, but about reclaiming our spiritual inheritance and living in harmony with divine will. Mary urges us to rekindle our commitment to prayer, compassion, and love as fundamental pillars of our lives. She reminds us of the crucial importance of holding on to our faith, especially when everything around us seems to be falling apart. In a world that has abandoned divine principles, we are called to be beacons of light that reflect the love and mercy of Christ toward others. By living lives deeply rooted in prayer and compassion, we become instruments of God's grace, guiding others to Him and offering them strength to face the trials ahead. The Virgin Mary assures us that even in the midst of uncertainty and darkness, hope lives on. We can invoke God's protection, and those who live in faith and prayer will be protected from the worst tribulations. It is through unwavering faith and unity in prayer that we will overcome the spiritual challenges of tomorrow. His message is both a warning and an invitation to spiritual growth. It urges us to confront the gravity of this time and strengthen our faith through prayer, love, and solidarity. It is not a time for fear, but for action. As we embrace the light of Christ and seek the protection of the Virgin Mary, we will discover the courage and resilience necessary to face any obstacle. No matter how thick the darkness, the light of Christ will prevail. Through prayer, sincere faith, and a loving heart, we can overcome even the most daunting spiritual challenges. Mary encourages us. We will forge a future that reflects God's love and grace. Thank you for joining us on this journey of reflection. Your presence and active participation in this mission are invaluable. May these words of faith continue to inspire us as we navigate these uncertain times. We will forge a future that reflects God's love and grace. Thank you for joining us on this journey of reflection. Your presence and active participation in this mission are invaluable. May these words of faith continue to inspire us as we navigate these uncertain times.